Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I really can't figure out what's happening. Every time I'm using these on for one-to-one or very small groups, it's okay. For these reasons, I we need to go back to the technical support on live webinar. Anyway, let's start because I have a lot to do to talk. Maybe you have questions. If you have questions, please do let them into the chat and we gather along. Um, yeah, everybody seems to have problems signing in. Okay, a hand. Okay, Lenore, you had. So we go live. I'm trying to go live on Facebook also. If there is someone, but I just need to change the camera towards me, actually. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. We talk, we're going to talk about the midlife reset and what do we need to do and why we are here. So, hopefully, we get more understanding about what's happening with us. But I just want to welcome everyone here. So excited to be here. It's going to be a recording. So, but I want you to be live because I have a present for you at the end. Yeah. Uh, if you've been struggling with low energy, mostly feeling like your body isn't cooperating with yourself, maybe some gain weight, and it's just stuck there without even knowing what to do. You try everything, but so then you are in the right place. Um, Maybe you have to think like, this is another webinar, but I want you to think like this is totally different because I want to take you on a journey, literally transformation. So if you have a pen and paper with you, grab a glass of water, you still have time, or a cup of tea. Get your place, you get yourself into a place that you couldn't be bothered for about 60, 70 minutes maybe. So let's go into. But before starting, like I just keep talking about midlife and about menopause and perimenopause and doing a lot of the research while helping myself and also helping my clients. And I find so many interesting articles and actually facts. It's based on facts and statistics and I was surprised to read that 75% of divorces in women over 40 years old are initiated by women. And I was like, what? Not that I want to keep everybody married or something, but it's just a kind of a weird how come 75% of all the divorces in women over 40 are initiated by women. So I had my clients that they said, like, you saved my marriage, you saved my marriage. Even the husbands come with the emails and even come with along with my clients into my practice and says, like, you literally saved my marriage. And I was like, oh, uh, it's just we change and we change so much when these hormonals are starting to we lose hormones. Literally our body can't produce more, so we lose those, and when we lose it until we gain back again that balance into our body, it's a period of time where we feel like it's disconnecting, we're not there. And if the partners are not um, educated, not willing to ask to be with us along, that's going to be an issue. Yeah. So the brain fog, the hot flashes, the insomnia, the night sweats, the tiredness, the mood swings, like you're happy now, then you cry. Yeah. Everything goes into this hormonal change, which is the midlife. And another fact is like this actually happens once around 35 years old. So if we thought like, oh, it's over 40, actually all the hormonal changes that comes along into the with the perimenopause. It starts around 35 years old in women. So let's get thrive and not only survive these signs, because it's really, really um, a lot to take into the life. It's just that we kind of get like, oh, I'm busy. I want to have my career. I want to have my family. I'm just tired with all this. This is why we're not aware of those changes. Probably my my thought here. So, um, do you have any questions at the beginning, or you just want to let them go how it's working? But really, in these 60 minutes, I want you to kind of get the grasp of reclaiming your energy, your body, and your confidence, because we're losing the confidence. Once the brain fog, once we keep forgetting, we go to the fridge, we open the door, we open a page, and we go straight to do something, and then we are there, and oh, we keep forgetting while we open the fridge, while we open the page, another page on a computer, yet, or something like that. So this is happening and it's normal, but we can slow down this process and reverse it with being conscious and taking good care of ourselves. It's not about extreme. I my mantra is to keep it simple all the time. Really, the more we want to do everything in all in one, it's getting overwhelming, it's frustrating, yet another failure on our list. So it's getting harder and harder to grasp and to move the needles to the right directions. This is why I don't like extreme diets, I don't like extreme workouts. If you're not prepared for that, don't do it. Take it slow, take your pace, and don't compare with someone else's journey. Yeah, you don't know since when they train, when they do all the changes. Um, do not damage more your metabolism than it's already the hormones that are doing, and you're going to see it in a minute. I want you to get results quite fast. So, and in order to do this, I want you to think like, how can I change 20% to impact the 80% of my body? I don't want you to change 80% to impact the 20. I want you to change 20%, whatever in the lifestyle, in with everything. Pick very little thing that you're doing on repeat until it's becoming a habit and it's impacting 80% of the work you have to do. Um, it's small strategic steps. Yeah, small steps get along better than big jumps, huge steps that get us tired, injured, frustrated, and more on a list. Yeah. And I just want to stop you from being on the yo-yo dieting and this circle of the exhaustions and self-sabotage and the things that we really want to put us into the place or into the position that we procrastinate even more. I've been talking all day, so kind of losing my voice now. Hopefully not. And you're gonna get my voice back. So how do I know all this? It's because I've been there. And I've been there not once, a couple of times. First, I've been tired. I was on negating, like, oh, it can't be this. But I've done the hormonal test and I saw, okay, I'm on a transition. But also I hit the wall and I was exhausted all the time. And no matter how much I rested, no matter how much knowledge I had, those knowledge can't help if we don't put it into the practice. That's for sure. So we need to practice. We need to implement. The knowledge there, it's a powerful if we work with. Otherwise, it's just like a book on a shelf. So in my mind, I was doing everything right, eating well, exercising, but my body wasn't responding. And obviously, like yourself, I felt frustrated. I felt stuck. I disconnected to myself. And on top of this, I was carrying the weight of a PTSD that gives me more self doubt and more pressure of having it all together. And this is why I know exactly that changing everything, all or nothing, this is not working. It didn't work. I don't know. I never met anyone. If you know someone, I want to meet him. So I built success, but I've done it in simple steps. I stopped fighting with my body. I started working with my body. I learned how to reset my metabolism naturally without depriving myself, without punishing myself, without the guilt and shame. Yeah, I let go on the emotional weight. That was a huge, huge thing. So using emotional freedom technique, tapping, which I'm gonna show you shortly, it's it's been for me a life changing, and in my clients' lives, a life changing too. So that is the way I finally break free. I reconnect with myself, I reclaim my energy, I get confidence, I get joy. I'm really happy in life, you know. Life is not to be struggled, life is to be lived and really thriving. And like one of my coaches says, like it's for you, for me, for us. Yeah, it's for everybody because we're not alone in this life. And we have families, we have people that we love, that they love us back. So, and your body, it's not broken. You just need to find a new strategy, a new method, or something that it's working for you. And before going further, I know that some of you are already spending time on my YouTube channel, social media, whatever it is. So if you want to look into one of the things I'm going to talk later on, it's my program. That's good. I'm going to talk at the end more about my program, but for the moment, it's just going to give you. So at the end, if you don't want to stay, that's fine. No string attached. I don't take it personal because I have no reason to take it personal. Yeah. So why are all diets and workout is no longer working? Anyone knows? Anyone tried those things so hard? Um, as women, we transition into the 30, 40, 50, and so on. And if we have the privilege to live that long, it's going to mean that we're going to live beyond menopause the longest of our lives. We're into with the transition. So we often experience frustrating changes in our bodies. And so many times, probably you know, if you have younger daughters, um, nieces or something, you know that, oh, why I am a woman. I hate being a woman. Again, the period, again, the pain. It's just because it's the pain and this loop. And also because so many doctors, and I've been there with my daughter to an endocrinologist that told my daughter and myself that she has to live with this. And I said, like, she's only 18. She can't have these pains, debilitating pains and everything. And I was like, yes, it's normal because it's a woman. And that it's unfair. It's really unfair for the women to live that. We normalize those pains. We normalize those levels of high stress in our lives. But it shouldn't be like that for sure. And there are so many ways to lower the pains, to get rid, to get examined if there is something else, and if there it's really something that it's needs to be addressed in the body. Yeah. So we back to the midlife. We back to the midlife. So the truth is, it's not our fault. It's not your fault. The body is changing to a combination of hormonal shift, naturally slowing metabolism. I'll show you in a minute. The impact of stress and the poor sleep. Like we could have 8 hours of sleep, but it's a very poor quality. Yes, we wake up very, very tired, um, agitated, sometimes with the anxiety, as my clients are saying. So let's break it down a little bit because we need to understand those things. First is the hormonal shift. Though this is very silent disruptors. This is not talking. This is not give us pains. This is not telling us anything. It's just coming into, and it's hits to the weight and the energy level. And in your younger years, your hormones work like a really well machine. Yeah, it keeps the metabolism steady, the energy is level high. So we do have this. We still have the fluctuation with the cycle. I'm not going to show any slides about this menstrual cycles and everything. We're just going to talk on general here. But the key hormones start fluctuating, affecting everything from weight regulation to cholesterol level and blood pressure. So this is why with getting wiser and getting growing into the age, we get those kind of a health issues. Yeah, like the blood pressure, the high cholesterol, and gaining weight, the most of them. That all together give us less energy during the day, and we have these slumps during the day that we need to kind of a grasp on eating and give us to bring up the energy. And the couple of hormones that are playing here, it's insulin that could give us the insulin resistance, and it gives us the blood sugar issues, high glycemia, going to the pre-diabetes, type 2, and then type 2 diabetes. This leads to the higher blood sugar level, increased fat storage, especially around the belly, like the muffin top also, and high cholesterol, as I said. And if you haven't changed your diet, your body might struggle to process the carbohydrates efficiently, because we cannot process carbohydrates at the same rate as we did when we were on our 20s. And even on our 20s, sometimes we struggle. Yeah, because I know so many from my clients, so many of my clients used to struggle with this, but they just get into the hunger diet. They get into a diet and another diet and another diet and another diet, and working really, really hard to keep the weight down. And now they're so tired. The body, it's so tired. The mitochondria that it's in every cell is getting so tired that needs to kind of a revamp. Yeah. And another one is the cortisol level. Cortisol level, it's the hormone that it's on the stress release. Yeah, we stress, we get the cortisol level high. And if it's a short term, it's an acute stress. I got scared. Someone crossed, I'm driving, someone just cut my road, something happens, yeah? Okay, I got scared, but then immediately I'm coming back into my normal, yeah? I might tell the story a little bit later on, but I'm not getting into that kind of a, oh my God, yeah? But if we keep the stress high enough, so something happened, an event happened, and we keep it months and months and years. I know from the history of my clients that they are still keeping grudges of something that happened 10, 15, 20 years ago in a family, in a relationships, something. So if you cannot move past about those events and still bring that emotion back, and science shows us that we can bring these emotions even on a higher level just by talking and just by thought alone. So I want you to really think about it. Okay, what can I let go, or how can I deal with this? Because those emotions are trapped in our bodies and gives us the physical pain, and then it brings us the illness. So midlife midlife comes with increased responsibilities. As I said before, like it's a career, it's a family, it's maybe aging parents. All these could bring a lot of stress that could go into the chronic stress. And the cortisol, pure stress hormones, rises and leading to increased cravings because it's raising up the blood sugar into the bloodstream. Yeah. So craving for sugars and carbs. We don't crave proteins, not much anyway. It's more fat stored around the abdomen, so the higher blood pressure, cholesterol level from here. Yeah, so you could see the whole pictures into this. And then it's as we keep transition, we have a naturally slowing down metabolism there. So it's not working. We don't metabolize carbohydrates, as I said. We need more protein and we need to work out a little bit. Not too much, but not at all. Yeah. Don't think like, oh, I can't because I'm tired. I know you're tired, but you have to think about it. And then I go into those things like you could do what you can do to kind of still going into this, because while the cortisol is high, we also increase the inflammation. So we need to lower the inflammation into the body. Yeah. So we removed first the hidden foods that it's give us the inflammation. For me, it's gluten. Everything that contains gluten, I might tolerate a little bit of may contain, or having a slice of pizza once in a very long time. But recently, I can't have it all. Yeah. And if you have any autoimmune disease or autoimmune issue, gluten, it's a big no. Really, really, it's a big no. Uh, then chronic inflammation, it's hidden cause of weight gain. It's slowing metabolism, as I said, the heart disease risk. Yeah. So the body is becoming more inflamed, and the foods are kind of creating more inflammation, and it's supporting this inflammation. Bloating and digestive issues, loads in my clinic. High cholesterol, it's kind of all around the world. Yeah. Water retention and blood pressure spikes, and we know this. Yeah. So this eating healthy, it's not for everyone. We really need to see what is working for me, what is working for you. How do you respond to? How is your body responding to the foods you eat? So if you're ignoring the food sensitivity, like I was ignoring at the beginning, actually I didn't ignore, I just didn't realize. But when I put my daughter into the gluten-free diet, we all went into the gluten-free diet. I saw immediately like, oh my God, that's so good. And then um, my thyroid started working well. My I had some cysts on my thyroid, so that they went away. That was amazing. It's just a kind of you don't realize how what it's impacting you until you really notice. Take it away for 3 weeks if you can, and then introduce slowly to see what's happening there. Maybe the dairy is an issue, because dairy can create either the lactose, the sugar from the dairy, or the casein, which is the protein from dairy. So you don't know which one is it unless you test, or you eliminate everything that contains dairy or gluten, and then you introduce slowly back and see what is it. So less inflammation, that means faster metabolism. Lower inflammation, better cholesterol, because cholesterol, it's there to repair. One of the property of cholesterol is also to repair the tissues. So the more inflammation, the cholesterol is going there to repair the tissue too. Yeah. So see, the cholesterol is not bad. Without cholesterol, we can't be here. Cholesterol is really so important that the body is recirculating, it's not eliminating. Yeah, and only 20% of our cholesterol is raising up from food that we eat. Mostly the the carbohydrates that it's impacting this, and the combination with fat and everything. So then we need to fuel the body and not deprive them, because many times we are under eating. So many women are under eating, and when you don't eat enough, especially you don't eat protein, you can't. Let's. I'll give you an example. You want to stay to 1500, 1500 calories a day. Yeah. But if you have these calories only for carbohydrates because you have a cappuccino with some syrup in it or whatever, and then you have the croissant, and then you have some pasta, and you have a little mushrooms, and then you have another snack, a chocolate or something, yeah, or maybe a protein bar that has a lot of sugar, yes, okay. So, and you count all these calories, but all these 1,500 calories are coming more from these high carbohydrates, and you don't have enough proteins and enough fat in your diet. You actually under eating. Yeah, the body don't have the nutrients necessary to build up more. So we change at the beginning. We don't see necessarily the weight coming, but it's just a change in our body composition. It's more fluffier. That means it's more fat around than the muscle mass. I hope that makes sense for you. Yeah. So what works now, instead of skipping meals or eating too little, to save these calories. I want to save these calories because I want to have this dessert. I want to save these because whatever, I want to lose some fat. Or relying on low calories diet, yeah, low fat diet. And many times this is coming with over exercising. Yeah, I had clients that they've been banned to go into the gym, and they come, and I went to the gyms and I was like, why they can't be into the gym? And they were like, because they faint into the gym. And the policy says that's it. Where they go and they don't take breaks, they run and run, they do without breaks and everything. So you can't go there and thinking like, oh, all this exercise can outrun my bad diet, because it can't. It really can't. And that shows also into the athletes, that so many athletes, because they drink the calories, yeah, in order to have these marathons, to have the sprints and everything, but they have fatty livers. So it's an issue there. Instead, what you can do, you have to increase your protein level. You have to go with the healthy fats to support your metabolism, to support your brain. Yeah. It's so important to support our brain. It's the commander. Yeah. It's the commander. We are on autopilot, and it's hard to change any habit if we don't support the brain. And nobody think about the brain, but we keep giving these sugary foods and high carbohydrates foods and everything, and want us to be sharp, to be straightforward, to have no issues, to keep the memory. But remember, Alzheimer is a type 3 diabetes. Yeah, it's an issue with the sugar on our brain level. The bottom line here is like, midlife nutrition needs a smarter approach. You really need to find your way without feeling frustrating, still keeping something that you really love, but in moderation and maybe even more. So, not feeling frustrated and not feeling anxious because you can't go there, you can't have these. It's working with your emotions. Once you get into your emotions and you regulate your nervous system and you're no longer stressed and you're no longer anxious, then it's your choice. And when you have your choice, nobody can play with your choice. Yeah, you don't feel guilty that you didn't eat. You don't feel guilty if you ate that one piece of cake or whatever might be there. Yeah. So the new approach is to balance the blood sugar big time, to reduce inflammation and to not deprive yourself. Eating enough of the right food to keep your body strong. Which one of these shifts do you think will help you the most? Which one do you think it's the best for you, where you can get it into, where it's easier for you to do it? Maybe replace the morning toast with an egg and avocados. Just saying. It's just saying. Yeah. So remember that it's not about eating less. It's just about eating right for you. That makes sense? I'm just looking here for the comments. I'm afraid I can't see the comments into the Facebook, and if I touch this, it will go away. So I'll go back to the Facebook later on and probably here into the chat. So let's go and see what's next for us. Yeah. I got a kind of a lost slide here. No, I didn't. Okay. So I kind of put this workshop into the ease method because that will be easy to follow all this that we talk about it. So as I said, this is not another diet or another work plan. It's about really realigning your body and the mind with this ease method. So E is from energize your body. A, it's align your emotions. And for this, we use EFT, mindset, meditation, journaling. S, it's sync with your body rhythms. That means stress, sleep, and recovery. Because we keep forgetting about recovery. And another E, it's from embodying the new you. It's being sustainable, having the new habits that it's right for you and they are sustainable. You're doing without even thinking about it. Yeah. And it's identity shift because I'm going to explain you in a minute. If you want this, but the the inner voice is saying, who do you think you are to want this? You know, everybody in the family have this issue. You know, you can't do it. You know, you're weak when you get these cookies in front of you or something. Yeah, that's not right. You will always listen to the inner talking more than the what you want. Yeah. And this is not necessarily the willpower. This is the nervous system that is not regulated, that it's not in place, and it's too much stress into your body. And obviously, the body wants to kind of get into the ease, into the ease, having a little comfort. And always, the food will always be the comfort. We find so much comfort into foods, unfortunately, but that's the truth. So let's talk about the nutrition shifts that usually work after 35. Again, reminding as a disclaimer, please talk with your medical advisor. We don't have here a relation client practitioner, so everything take it with a pinch of salt. This is what is working in my practice. This is what the studies shows. I'm coming here with these, but obviously you have to decide if it's working or not for you. If you're willing to try at least, yeah. So if you look back, what you add in your 20s and 30s might not work anymore now. So we need to make a little shift. If we think like, oh, I don't want to change anything, then this might not be for you. So, but many women feel frustrated because they're eating the same way they always have till now, and they're gaining weight. And they come to me and says, like, I changed nothing. I'm eating the same. It's my routine for years and years, and now look at me. Or I'm gaining weight, my cholesterol is creeping up, the blood sugar is high. What is it? The truth is, the body can no longer cope with this. So we need a little bit of change. And also, Look at the dynamic of the foods industry. Look at the dynamic of the um, restaurants and everything. Everything gets so much processed, even into the restaurants. You will find like they don't really do everything from scratch there. Yeah, they coming prep things. It makes the life easy. Yeah, it's all about profits. At the end of the day, I have a business. I want to have profits, but I should be ethical things there. Sometimes we're losing this on the way. So as we get older, if we don't balance the blood sugar, that means the insulin is going high. And if the insulin is going high, then we cannot lose weight. We're always hungry. We're always moody. We're always going to have the energy crashes. And we're always going to have the hormonal imbalance because the insulin, it's like a little queen around the hormones. So if the insulin resistance is there, maybe it's not the diabetes yet. Maybe it's not even the pre-diabetes. But definitely we cannot process the food. Yeah, we know the signs. We're very tired after eating a bowl of pasta or some more carbs, or you kind of get into the sluggish, you kind of feel like, oh, I would like to lie down a bit for a half an hour. You suddenly love the midday nap if it's possible to have it. Yeah, all these are signs. You get tired earlier, you cannot sleep well nighttime because the cortisol is very high in the nighttime during the evening time, while the cortisol should go down towards the bedtime and rise when we wake up. But things are a little bit upside down now. So if you cut all the carbs together, might not work for you. If you tried the intermittent fasting, didn't work for you. You tried to eliminate all the carbs, didn't work for you, because you need to adapt. You need to see what is working. If you cannot make it sustainable, it's not working. So eating carbs at random time without considering the blood sugar, or eating small and often. Again, we keep raising the blood sugar and we keep raising the insulin level. So we keep going into the circle that we can't break, up and down. We high blood sugar, low blood sugar, high blood sugar, low blood sugar, and insulin is keep being high all the time. That's not good. So instead of playing this like a roller coaster, how I like to say, it's balancing and it's keeping, again, you have to go with the protein. You like it or not, but you go with the protein. And instead of plain bagel in the morning or a bagel with some jam or a slice of toast with jam or something, have the scrambled egg, a boiled egg, a poached, something, a little cheese, few olives. It's easy, yeah? Maybe some leftover meats from the evening, something that wouldn't. Start with the savory in the morning. If you don't want to think and overthink, start with the savories in the morning. That's it. You break the fast as a breakfast. Break the fast in the morning with something savory. So you wouldn't have that spike of sugar. And you keeps the energy more steady during the day. You're not hungry. And then you're not angry. And you're not hungrier. Yeah. So this kind of in this, you keep the blood sugar. You don't have the insulin spike. And you also want to think about timing the carbohydrates during the day. Yeah, if you cannot sleep, you have issues with the sleep, keep a small portion for your dinner plate. Yeah, that will help you sleep better. But there are foods, a lot of food that could help. A tea, a chamomile tea, just calm down, put you on a different. And then also eat to lower your inflammation. Many diets on this, but you have to remove the hidden foods stressors, and that's obviously gluten, dairy, processed seeds or oils like sunflower, canola, rape seeds, things like that. sugar, loads of sugar. Now, loads of food has all the carbs, but with these sugars that don't spike the insulin or don't spike the blood sugar, but the carbs itself spikes the blood sugar. The combination, it doesn't do well to the liver. So if you go on these alternatives sugars, natural like stevia, monk fruit, you you have to eliminate the carbohydrates that comes from grains. Otherwise, it's impacting negative the liver and everything. That's the study. You could go and Google it yourself. Spend hours and hours and hours reading articles to find the same thing. So you have to identify what is working. Maybe the dairy is not a problem for you. Maybe the gluten is not a problem for you. Maybe it's the alcohol. Yeah, that's another one that kind of goes into. And then you go and see how much fish do you eat. Some people are vegetarian, pesco-vegetarian, something like, but they eat a lot of fish and they have a lot of the heavy metals into the body that gives us, again, inflammation, a very tiredness, exhaustions even. Yeah. And that's not good for the gut health because we need to keep the gut healthy to absorb the nutrients we eat. Yeah. If you suffer of bloating, acid reflux, um, alternate constipation, diarrhea, if you don't go daily with the number two, with the poop, yeah, if you don't poop daily, that's an issue. So I have clients in my practice that they go every 7 days or so. So we need, and if you go into any diet that it's detoxing, that could be a very bad choice because you're gonna detox through your skin because we recirculate the water into the bowel, into the large intestine. We recirculate the water, an average 4 to 6 liters a day. Depends how much water do you drink. So just imagine recirculating all those, yes. And estrogen, it's eliminated through the bowel, to the large intestine out. And if you're constipated, you actually bring the estrogen back into the body. That it's a form that might increase your risk of cancer. That's kind of this. Then don't deprive yourself. Why undereating slows your metabolism? You really need to understand this because did I lost the things here? Yeah, no. Okay, sorry. There's the slides here. Sometimes they go all around. So one of the biggest mistakes I see in women's that in their 40s, it's starting like because they're gaining weight, because they start eating too little. They just eliminate groups, and they start kind of skipping the breakfast and then skipping the lunch and then just go and maybe just have a little snack now and then. It's not literally, they don't have a proper meal over the day, maybe dinner time. The rest is just kind of a nibbling. So that's no good. It's that will increase the craving. That will go more into the emotional eating. That the result, it's gaining more weight, literally, yeah. And then it's a stress for the body because everything we do, even eating like that, no sleep, getting angry, it's a stress for the body. A pain in the body, it's a stress that increase the cortisol level. Just think about it. So skipping meals, unless you have a very good plan for having the intermittent fasting, which is skipping some meals, but you have to have really good meals in the window that you eat. Yeah. If you don't feed yourself well properly within the window of eating, that's under eating. That won't be sustainable. That not necessarily gives you the weight you want. And then if you over exercise and you under eat, it's another stress. The body will slow the metabolism, thinking like, oh, it's a famine. We don't have enough, so we have to store everything. Yeah, for the days when it's bad time. It's literally bad time. When you don't eat, you exercise, it's a lot of effort. You don't have the nutrients and the protein to rebuild the connections, the tissues. Yeah. So do not starve yourself unless you really do, you know what to do when you're doing intermittent fasting. I'm not covering intermittent fasting here. Enough proteins. Again and again, I'm going to put eat proteins and fats for the better cholesterol. And because this will help you with lowering inflammation, gives you more calm, feeding your brain, help you to sleep well. Literally, it's an anti-aging process if you take it like that. Yeah. So you don't, you can even reverse age if you start doing those things. Do not go into those kind of miracles. Do this and you're gonna 3 days, you're gonna lose 5 kilos in 3 days. And that's not, you might lose. And I saw it in sports that they don't even drink water just to be lower and be into the weight category for that particular sport, like it's boxing and things like that. But it's not the best. They know they don't do the best, but it's just for the match day. Yeah. And women do the same things for the match day. Don't think only men do this. Yeah. Replace your morning toast and croissant maybe with the coffee. Have your coffee. If you cannot have coffee by itself, just black coffee, and you need a little sugar in, you have to eat first. But you can't eat a slice of bread. You have to have a protein. Yeah, with that one. Otherwise, it's not going that well for you. We are on the align your emotions. And this is one of the subjects that at the beginning, when I get into this, like I was refer my clients to a practitioner that were doing hypnosis, cognitive behavior therapy, emotional freedom technique. I wasn't doing myself, but when I had the PTSD, I was doing hours a day tapping just to not have a panic attack, just to not have an anxiety attack, just to not have another crisis like I'm dying now. Yeah. To get me I was almost agoraphobic. That means I couldn't get out of the house. I had so many incidents at that time, almost burning the house. It's not a joke. Like my neighbors were there and everything, like the smoked. And so for these reasons, I was like, I have to get up from this. I had to get up from this. That was really bad. So EFT for me was like a miracle. I couldn't really meditate. I couldn't really do many things. But then I got a coach that said, like, you have to tap. And when you don't want to tap for you don't want to tap. That was it. I get into it. So midlife isn't not only a physical transformation, it's an emotional one. And if you're there, you know what I'm talking. Gives you that feeling of stuckness, the overwhelmed, the out of control. The food can become an emotional crutches. Like, it helps us to to get back to senses. But it doesn't help us on other ways, yeah? So do not have it, do not rely on the willpower, because that will be something that you fail again and again, and you might think like it's something wrong with yourself, while it's nothing wrong with yourself. Yeah. But then you get into these stress, guilt, shame, emotions that are there, and you get into the anger issue and the frustration, and that will escalate and escalate, and every relationship can have an impact here, in work, in your private life, with the neighbors, with the kids, with anyone. And if you think like, oh, but it's not my fault, think think again. If you think like it's so easy to point to someone else's fault, but sometimes we need to take the responsibility and think like, okay, I'm going through this, let's see what can I do to help myself. I know it's a wobbly time, I might be a little bit different, but I need to really regulate my nervous system. I really need to regulate my hormones to help myself in order to cross over this period of time, because the stress and overwhelm are the most, yeah. And here is the food that comes and gives the quick escape, maybe a glass of wine or a cocktail that goes well with the cheese platter, yeah. And it's so easy to indulge on this, and then it's exhaustions and burnout. I know so many women that are in burnout literally and on autopilot. Till when? I don't know. I told them if they want to do something, that's something else. But if they don't want to do, I can't help them. They are some of my friends. I love them dearly, but I can't do the things for them. They have to do it. They have to take the responsibility, because we can't do for them anything. And if you look around, are so many things that even if you want to delegate, you have to do it for yourself. You have to take that time for you. You have to take that decisions that you go first on the top list and say yes to you first. Otherwise, how come? Yeah. And then it's frustration and resentment. If you constantly give to others but neglect yourself, you might go again to the food as a reward. We need that dopamine. We need that reward. We need that energy. We need that something to make us feel good. Guilt and shame. You shouldn't eat this, but you did it. I know exactly what I have to do, but I can't get into of doing it. I can't do it. And I feel bad for eating this, or I feel bad for not doing this for me. I should say no to them, but then I said yes. And then I pull myself and I stretch myself in helping them and doing things for them, and so on and so on, because you feel guilty. You don't know how to say no. But every time you say yes, when you're so tired and you need some rest, you say no to yourself. I hope it makes sense. And I hope, don't take it as a judgment. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to point. I'm here to raise awareness and make you aware of the things that actually, little by little, it's built up on this. Yes? The guilt and shame creates the anxiety, and it's really feeding the self-sabotage. See how it goes? So the emotional eating leads to blood sugar spikes, the crashes, the eat again, and so on. The willpower, it's for the short term. But don't think to the willpower on a long run. Yeah? It's just for now, for the moment. What can I do something else to kind of go on a long run. Yeah. So to stop the emotional eating, we have to address the emotion driving that drive this behavior. Yeah. What triggers those emotions? Go to the root cause. And as I said, something that it's really, really close to my soul, it's the EFT. EFT, the emotional freedom technique, with tapping at some point. We could do a session at the end. If you want, happy to do. It just release stress and cortisol and cravings and increase the immune system. If you do tapping, and it's so much research on this, um, extremely good for panic attack, for PTSD, for lowering the blood sugar, for lowering the blood pressure, for lowering pains, for increasing the happiness, lowering depression, increasing immune system, increase concentration, decrease fear of interviews, exams, give more focus, increase focus and concentration and productivity. I could go on and on. I could go on and on. And if you learn and you could do it by yourself, that's something else. You could just touch points with your practitioner from time to time when you feel like you got stuck into something and you cannot see what's there, because as you know, nobody is the prophet in our own country. Like, we can't help ourselves. The surgeon wouldn't do the surgery on itself or on a family member. Yeah, might assist, but wouldn't be the main one. Yeah, because of the emotions. So we could do this on the end, full tapping. If you don't know what it is, I'm going to explain later on. Another thing is rewriting your story. As I said earlier, like, if you want something, but inside in your mind, you don't believe you deserve, you can have it, um, why bother? You won't have it, because that subconscious mind, it's stronger than the conscious mind. It's like the iceberg. The conscious mind is what we see over the sea of the iceberg, but the big portion of the iceberg, it's under the water, so we don't see it. And that is the 90% of the unconscious mind. There is the emotions, the things that we want, that we don't want, that we believe, we pick up the beliefs, it just there. Over the time, since we are a child, we get with these ones. So now we have to go over and rewrite those stories. Is it true? When these little monkeys come and say, like, oh, who do you think you are to want this? Who do you think you are to want that position? Who do you think you want to have this body? Look, your age. Age is just a number at the end of the day. And there are people in their 80s that are doing climbing, swimming, surfing, skiing, skating, weightliftings, and so on and so on. And there are also people in 60 that can't do much. It's the beliefs, it's the what they're doing for. And it's never too late. It's too late. It's never too late. I'm too young, I'm too old, I'm so on and I'm so on. No, this is just beliefs. Maybe the society, maybe the environment, maybe we pick up from the school, from families, from extended families, whatever might be there. But they're not true. If someone else did it, we could do it. Yeah. So if you learn to trust your body, if you learn to listen to your body, like I've done it, and I'm still doing it, don't think like you're done and it's done, it's finished. It's always something that has come up, and it's kind of a put you into the, oh, I thought I worked on this, but I still have to work more on this. Yeah. Because learning that the food is not enemy. Food is there to support, to feed, to nourish our bodies, the brain, the soul, even. But we have to get into the power to make the choice. And when it's your choice, you are in power. Yeah. It's such a relief and such a good feeling when you get into this. Really, really, really. Like so many of my clients, if they have these issues, like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, I don't need to drink. I'm sober for such and such a long time. I didn't try to prove anything to anyone, not even to myself. I just said one day, they said to me, like, I'm just taking day by day, and yet it's a year long. It's 2 years long. Yeah. I don't really know how is it with the drinking because I don't really drink, but I could say that I smoked when I was very young. I started at 18. I smoked till 26. I smoked a lot, even more than 20 cigarettes a day. That was really bad. For me, it was emotional. I started when my mom was very sick, and then she died, and I was just like, I was keep doing it. I was just, you know, I just thought that it helped at the time. It helped at the time, but I was very sick at the time too. And now I want to go back to you and tell me which emotional trigger resonated with you the most. Drop it in the chat if you want. Um, I would love to know, because the more I know you and the more you tell me what you what's the issue there, and gentle issue, yeah, what's the problems or whatever, the more I can help. Yeah. So take a moment and think about it, like, okay, which one is it? Which one is the hardest for me? Is it this one? Is it the other one? Which one is it? And then yet look where you want to sync with your body. How do you sync with your body rhythms? And why it's important to do this? And why stress and sleep impact your weight more than diets? Because it's true. Sometimes you could eat that kind of a cake and cupcake and everything, whatever might be there, and you do not get weight the way you're gaining weight when you sleep deprived and when you're stressed. When the body is feeling unsafe, either from the stress, from the poor sleep, from over exercising, it will hold on to the weight no matter how well we eat. And many women over 35, at least what I saw in my practice, believe that eating less and working out more, because that was like everywhere in the newspapers and everywhere on eat less, exercise more, and you're going to lose weight. But that's not the case anymore. Yeah. What if I told you that your body isn't resisting weight loss because of food, but because of stress and poor sleep? So when the body is in the survival mode, it's prioritizing safety over fat loss. The fat, it gives them the safety. It's that thing. It's the cushioning. It's the reservoir for the later on. Yeah, we need to survive there. So chronic stress signals your body to store more fat, especially around the belly. Um, Poor sleep disrupts metabolism, increasing hunger and cravings. Yes, when we don't sleep well, we feel the need to eat a little bit more. And my chair, it's going off from the place. I don't know why. So poor sleep disrupts metabolism. It's increasing hunger and cravings. Over-exercising can backfire, making your body hold on to weight instead of burning weight, and makes you even more hungrier. How many times you went to the gym, finished the session, and then you, oh my God, I have to eat something. And usually, you, for sure, you don't have your protein with you. Yeah, you might have a bar of protein, but I want you to really look into those protein bars and see what the amount of carbohydrates, the sugar added into. Yeah, and what is the protein coming from. Yeah, so it's not about the calorie in and calorie out. It's about creating the environment where your body feels safe to let go of the excess of weight. Yeah. So many studies actually about the calories in and calories out was done on men's only, and just later in 20s they accept few women in, and after that that's coming. But at the beginning, all the diets were tested, measurements and everything only on men's. So men's don't have a menstrual cycle. Men's has a bigger muscle mass, uh, bigger capacity of breathing because the lungs are bigger. Yeah, everything gets different. Higher testosterone, they could lose weight faster. They could build muscle mass faster than us. So we need a little bit more fat on the body if you want to have kids. Yeah, it's so much into the women's life. It's not only like the wishy-washy. We are equal. We are equal and not equal at the same time. Yeah. So how cortisol blocks weight loss? The stress fat storage connections, because you need to understand this. Stress trigger cortisol. It's the fight or flight hormone. But so many times we don't fight, we don't flee, we just freeze into the moment. We stay into the heads. That's another stress. And in small amounts, as I said, cortisol is normal. When chronic stress is there, the cortisol is elevating and it's causing increase in belly, fat storage, more sugar cravings because sugar calls for more sugar. Muscle breaks down, that slows metabolism. The blood sugar spikes, that means the insulin is high all the time. When the insulin is high, we're more hungrier, we're moody, we can't burn fat. The body, it's either into the fat or store mode. You can't have a store fat and lose fat at the same time. It's one or another. And that leads in time to the insulin resistance. So, how this goes into this, try to realize what keeps you into this chronic stress, and how much stress do you normalize in your life. So if I ask you now on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 having the lowest amount of stress, 10 being the highest, where are you on a daily basis? Yeah, maybe on a job you are on higher or you're lower, or the personal life it's going rough or it's very well there. You have to see where you're at. And if you're too high and you're all the time high, or even on a middle, yeah, how about lowering this? Yeah, because you feel well. Oh, I'm a 5, I'm a 4 or 5, I'm okay. What about being on 1 or 2? And just be there most of the time. But if you go high short term during the day, then you go low, but not just in between. Yeah. Because otherwise, the body can't cope and it's just building and building and building more. Yeah. And we slow down metabolism. go into this. So what we should do after 35, it's good for everyone, but let's talk to midlife here. It's like going to have a good night's sleep. Mm, around 7 to 8 hours. It's the and being the quality is the most. If you have only 6 hours, have a good quality. Have the cycle. The sleep has its own archaeology. I like to say, yeah, it has these own cycles, the 90-minute cycles. So you have to have that deep sleep. You have to have the REM sleep. And I'm not going into this. It's not a workshop for this, but you need to have a good quality sleep. And for this, you need three things to lower your cortisol before going to bed. That means no screen, maybe see what is triggering, what activity is triggering your sleep. You might do the gym in the evening, and if it's too high intensity, it might increase that cortisol level. You might need some gentle exercise in the evening. Yeah, so see what you're doing in the evening. And the blue lights, again, but evening, keep your cortisol lower. Don't keep your cortisol high. What keeps it high is the TV, it's even drinking. Sometimes it helps just to kind of decompress the alcohol, but doesn't mean the stress is going away. Yeah. You need magnesium and you need protein. Yeah. You might rely on some supplements because otherwise, how come? Or maybe the Epsom salt bath, something. Yeah. A little yogurt will do with a little nuts on. Something to stabilize your blood sugar. Magnesium, it's really relaxing for the nervous system, and by its glycinate, magnesium helps with sleep. Even the citrates magnesiums help with sleep. In some of my clients, malate helps also with sleep. But you need to see which one is for you. And deep breathing and or emotional freedom technique, tapping. Deep breathing. You have to get into this habit of having properly deep breathing exercises. We breathe all the time, but we deep very shallow, just from here, from the chest. A deep breathing, it's raising our diaphragm. Yeah, when the belly is high. Why? Because at the bottom of our lungs are some receptors that goes switch the nervous system from sympathetic to parasympathetic. Yeah, the sympathetic nervous system is not so gentle with us. Yeah, it's the one that it's in fight or flight all the time. And you need to go into the parasympathetic, which is the gentle, the one for digestive, the calm, rest. Yeah. So with deep breathing, you go with the air down to the bottom of your lungs, and here you go. You switch those things. Mini exercises for you is just to have this into your routine. One thing, choose one and do it on repeat for at least 10 days and see how you feel. And let me know, actually. Yeah. Because your metabolism resets at the nighttime over the sleep. And if you're not sleeping well, you're not burning fat efficiently because we burn fat over the night. But we need to have it on a proper level. Yeah. So that's pretty much what is this, how it links together. Hope makes sense to you. I can't see any comments. I can't see any comments over there. It's one here. Thank you for the live, Antonella. I would love to listen to the recording if possible, please. We'll see. We'll see. This will stay anyway into the Facebook Live for 30 days, I think. Then the Facebook will remove it. But hopefully I'm going to put them on YouTube as I used to do. And the last E, embody the new you. How do you embody the new you? How can you do it? How do you change your identity? How can you do this shift differently? How you create these lasting changes? The big mistakes I saw, I've done some of them anyway, and it's try to lose weight or improve their health. It's relying on motivation. Or even if you want to do relying on motivation or whatever you want to do, even if it's not related of the health or weight or something. Motivations comes and go. It's the same like the hunger. It comes and goes. You're hungry now, you don't eat, you drink some water, you're busy, you go, and the hunger is gone. The same with the motivation. But instead, the real transformations happens when you shift your identity, the way you see yourself. And as I said, you have to see yourself empowered. You have to see yourself. Um, if you ever say, like, let's put it this way, if you ever said, I just need more willpower. I do well for a few weeks, then I fall off the track, fall off the wagon. I always start strong, but something happens and I lose the momentum. Then you're stuck in a cycle, yeah, of external effort, not internal transformation. What you consistently is based on who you believe you are. And then you coming like with all the beliefs that comes from the past that people told us. And we start believing if someone telling you you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you start to believe this. But what about like not necessarily being the positive, because this positive affirmation helps, but you have to do the work behind in removing the emotions that are so to make to believe really that changes are happening. But it just like it starts easier, at least like I'm a woman who takes care of my body. I want to take care of my body and get rid of the should. Every time you say I should have done, I should do, but you never do. I should have done, yeah, you've never done it. And that it's another tick, a negative way for the brain. Maybe you say like, oh, it's not that bad, but then you add this and another one and another one. It's the ripple effect in time. Yes, it's the compounding, put it this way. But you can switch the compounding from the negative to positive the same way. But you have to start taking. I'm already the type of person. I someone who listen. So then you start listening. Then you start doing this for you. Because nobody can do this for you. You're the only one that could take this, that can feel really the difference. So it's everything stays into the power of the micro habit. Tiny changes, big results. As I said at the beginning, how can I change 20% to impact the 80%? Yeah. So your habits must match your belief in a way. What about saying, I'm choosing to drink some water instead of having a snack first? Later on, rethink. If that snack calls your name, then you might only eat half of the size of that one, half the bar, or whatever it might be. And it's a small change that will in time go and make a big change. I'm someone who moves my body daily, even for 3, 4, 5 minutes. Instead of like, I'm going to the gym from tomorrow, I'm doing every class and everything. And it's not happening. Maybe start with 1 class a week. Just a gentle something. Speak with the instructor. Tell them, I'm at the beginning. I haven't done exercise in a while or never in my life. Whatever might be there. And just be honest. Nobody is there is to judge you. And if they judge, you go to someone else. That's it. Yeah. I'm someone that I'm going to listen my body. I'm going to nourish my body. I'm going to take good care of myself, because just doing my hair, doing my nails, it's not really the self-care. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about inner work. Yeah. So try to embrace the change. Try to be open-minded to this. Open your heart for yourself. Say yes to you more. Create healthy boundaries and talk about those boundaries, because nobody knows what you're thinking, what you want from now, or what you wanted before. And nobody can read your mind, by the way. Nobody wants, I don't want anyone to read my mind. And I don't want for sure to read anyone's mind. Yeah. So we need to communicate. And it's a skill that we learn, a social skill. It's a it's a thing. We need to open up. We need to learn how to make it. You know, I feel like I want this. What about it? Yeah. I feel like I want this. But decide. You have to have a vision for yourself. You have to have a plan. All the plan goes by the plan? No. And thanks God it's not working like that. But we adapt, we modify it. It's even so many times it's getting even better and better. But it's so important to put it down. You can increase your rate of success with 40% just by writing down your goals and have a plan. Handwriting, not typing, handwriting. So have a journal and put down, yeah? Unlock your genius. Don't stay in the mind. Mind is lying us. And then you go on the negative, and then you go into the spiral that it's never finished. Is that even if it's a negative, it gives you that dopamine. We feed our brain, but it's like in the story. You feed the wolf that it's a fear, or you feed the wolf that it's empowering you. Yeah. Which one do you feed? So decide who you are now. Ask yourself, what kind of woman do I want to be? How do I want to be? And what can I do now to change just a little bit and act as if? Yeah. Dress, put your makeup, do your hair. Now you start doing it. You don't have runners, you buy some runners. You don't have whatever, It's just do something. Get a nice mug, and every day you do a cup of tea, a chamomile, a peppermint, a rooibos tea, or something. And you just love your mug. Drink from your loving bottle or something. Just do something that really gets into your soul and that makes you use it more and more. Yeah, because we spend so much money on things that we never used. And even if it's an euro or a dollar or something, it is expensive if you don't use it. But you might pay €100 and you use it, and this is not expensive. Yeah, because in time you could wear it 200 times, you could use it 200 times, and see, by wear, it's less than spending a euro and never use it. That's the thing. I sometimes get caught into those things, but it's how much do I want to use? How much do I use it? How much do I do for myself? Prioritizing, it's a thing. But it's easy to prioritize if you put it down. Yeah, I could talk for hours for sure, but I just a kind of a don't want to take any of the. And then it's about affirmation. Again, staying into this positive psychology and everything, but you have to change things. And affirmations does help. And if you work with along with some meditation, with breathing, with a little gentle exercise, a little walk, some tapping, yeah, you become the woman you want. I'm a woman who nourishes and trusts her body. Instead, give different perspective. Change the perspective, yeah? So many of us and so many women spent years doubting, punishing, staying in guilt, shame, ignoring, not taking time. I don't have time. I don't have time. It's not the time right. That's not the right time now. I'll do it for Monday. From Monday. From Monday. And from the new year. And yes, look, we're 20 days in March, third month of the year. Yeah, I'm doing it from. But what about today? A little thing you could do today and just keep it on repeat. Do it for yourself. Guilt over food. It's about listening to your body. We so many times confuse thirst with hunger, and instead of drinking water, this is why I said drink water, we eat. Restriction and control. What about trust and nourishment? Forcing that weight loss, forcing to lose the last 5 pounds, the last 10, the last 30, whatever it might be, or the whole amount. What about supporting my body to thrive? You have to accept where you are so you can change. But just telling, I hate my body, I hate myself, I can't look into the mirror, I can't dress, every time having a tantrum when you have to dress to go somewhere, and so on, so on, so on. And then eventually you put a face for the people around, but you look so different behind with yourself. That's not good. That's a stress. That it's a high cortisol level. That it's a high blood sugar level. That it's a fat store. So write in your journal daily. Have 3 minutes journaling. Put with the bullet points. Say it loud in the morning. I accept myself. If you can say I love myself, even better. I choose to take good care of myself today. I choose to nourish and trust my body. Say something. You don't have to repeat after me, but you have to just make it your own. How do you feel? Do you know how many times I start tapping with my clients and they can't say it? Like, we start with an affirmation at the beginning. It's a starting phrase, and it's like, even though I hate myself by going into all these cravings and all this emotional eating, or going into all these fights for nothing, or whatever might be my anxiety, I accept and love myself anyway. But so many can't say I love myself for some reasons. But just starting with I accept myself, it's a very good start. Yeah. So now, before going and feel like, oh, I want that snack. Am I hungry? When was the last time I ate? What was the last meal, the proper meal, or maybe a small snack, or whatever might be there? Take notes, just little. Put them on your phone, just a note for yourself. And then you could check there. And then you could see exactly how much did you eat and what you eat and how much from that group or for that group and something, yeah? And remember, the words has a very strong power, and the words that you say to yourself, it's 1,000 more. So what would you say to yourself? The way you talk to yourself determines your reality. So choose your words. Choose your words. Speak as if you are already the woman you want to become. Use it as a present moment. Act as a present moment, and stop shaming, guilting, talking bad to yourself. Because you're going to wake up tomorrow morning with yourself. Yeah. The body is always beside you, it's always with you. You can't run away from this vessel. You can't run away. You can't run away from yourself. You wake up with yourself. You could run away from me and never block me on all social media or something and never ever talk to me. But you wake up with yourself tomorrow morning and you have to deal with yourself. And what better way to be on a good mood with yourself than be on a bad mood with yourself? Yeah. So, can you see this comment? I could see this comment. Yes. Yes, I could see this comment. Thank you so much for commenting. Yes, you could say anything there. I could see this comment. So if you want to put any questions there, anything, please do. Um, which part of this section or today's session resonate the most with you? Micro habits, identity shift, the last, the affirmation. Drop in the chat. What would you like to change? So then, if you don't know what you want to change, go, this is my goal. And now reverse engineering. What can I do to reach this in very small steps? And if you think that step is small, see if you could make it even smaller. Why I'm telling you this? Because sometimes we think that it's manageable, that it's a way, that it's not such a big step. But then we see that it's, oh my God, it's a little bit too much. It's an overwhelming, but I have it in this way. If you start feeling this way, then break that step into smaller steps. That is the only way to reach your goals. So much of what you have said resonates with me. Probably small steps goals is what I need to apply the most. Yes, break it. And as I said, when you thought that it's small, make it even smaller. Because otherwise, you rely on motivation. And I want you to stop waiting for that motivation. I want you to stop waiting for that perfect day, perfect moment, perfect thing, perfect whatever. We make the perfect. We make it the way it is. And sometimes the job done, it's better than being perfect, because perfect, we might not start anything. Yeah. So just take action. Whatever you do, just take action. Do something, because if you stay, you can't do any change. But at least you do something. And if it's not working, at least you know it's not working and you try something else. But if you don't try, you don't know. That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing with this. So we've learned, I think, so much today, and how to work with our body rather than against. Now the question, what's next? What's next for you? The truth is, the information alone doesn't create transformation. It didn't create the transformation for myself when I needed it the most and I wanted the most, but action does. So you have to take action. Let's talk about what you can do to start and doing. So one of the comments here, it's my motto in life is, if I do something, I do it well or don't do. This motto has not served me in my wellness journey. Yes, I'm glad you realized that. You know, now that you know, it's the most amazing thing. Really applaud yourself for realizing this, because now you know, like, okay, all I need is to do something. Whatever you choose is going to be well, I'm sure. It doesn't matter what you choose to do. Just do something that it's on. It helps you to move the needle into the right direction, helps you to go closer to your goal. And especially with the health and wellness and the well-being, because life is coming in our way anyway. It's not every day the same. I could say like, oh, today I wanted to do this and this and this, and but to start with, the first part of the morning was the craziest in so many other days. The loud, the noise, the things that if I let myself dragged into, I wouldn't do well. I choose to kind of, okay, what can I do now in this moment to help me and to work with the people I work with, to help them, the safety first. By the way, I do some work with autistic kids, and that's the thing is like a couple of days a week. So safety first, and then integrating them. And then how can I help their moms, their parents' moms in particular, to help the kids, but they need so much support. And if you are a parent, you know how much support you need when the child is a little sick and it's a little unwell, and just imagine those kids need extra of so many things. So I am there to work with the kids and then thinking about solutions for the parents, for the moms. And I could let myself emotion and everything, where I could get straight into safety first. Let's goes over these meltdowns and everything, and then to the rest. Yeah, empowering the moms, everything, help them, guide them, what they need to do, how is it working this way. If it's not working this way, you have to try this and this and this. Go with the instinct, listen to your body. You always get the answers. And if it's about yourself, even more. Yeah. So do not underestimate the answer that you get. The intuition, it's that intuition. The first thing that comes into your mind is the intuition. If you go longer, you go into the mind, then it's the mind, is no longer intuition, it's your thinking. Yes. So we covered so far from the ease method, as I call it, into this workshop, simple actions, steps to take today. Energize with balanced nutrition. Focus on blood sugar balance to prevent energy crash. No extreme diets, just smart, sustainable food shifts. Protein, good fats, carbohydrates, very little, mostly from natural foods, not processed foods. Fats, not all processed oils. Eliminate those. Align with your body needs. Listen to the hunger cues and work with your hormones, not against them. See where you are. If you're still into the menstrual cycle, are you before menstrual cycle? Are you into the menstrual cycle? Are you on the ovulation? Yeah, we have these phases. It's like the season. It's the spring, it's the summer, it's the autumn, it's the winter. Winter is just before the period. Yes, is that when we need the most cushions and the most good foods and that thing. Then it's shift stress and sleep for metabolism reset. Lower your cortisol with rest, relaxation, better sleep habits. Yeah, make the room like a sanctuary before bed. Not too hot, not too cold. See the bed linen, see the pajamas. Feel good. Feel make yourself like a queen into this moment. Yeah. And if you exercise a lot, maybe stop over exercising in the nighttime, because that could wake up, increase the cortisol level. So literally support your recovery system. Take days when you recover. Take days for recovering if you're a runner, and so on. Embody the new you. Step into this identity of the woman who naturally makes nourished choices. It's your choice. Small, consistent habits that leads to long or lasting transformation, to say it. Yeah. So which one do you think, which of these steps feels most close to you to start doing it? Drop it in the chat if you want to. So it's the energize, align, shift stress, sleep, embody the new you. One of them. Which one is it for you? If you choose, you could choose all of them, but make little steps for all. Align. Yeah. I started with this when I started my journey back from PTSD. I needed to feel myself again, to feel into my body, into my mind. I was searching for my soul, literally. So, any questions so far? I still can't see the Facebook sometimes is doing these things like showing and not showing the comments, not even the people that are watching, but it's okay. It's there. So that's the most important thing for the people that couldn't join the link. Yeah. So now um, now I go into the things like, what do I like to do? What is your choice to do? How you're gonna make the change in future? You have two choices, but I like to talk about these things. Like, if you feel like you don't like, I'm gonna talk about the next step, which is another program of mine. That it's a paid program. If you wanna listen, please stay. Um, some of you might know that this is coming. Some of you may just thought about it, but yes, it's coming. And if you don't like those things, have no string attached, you could leave it, because 70% of the people that are going into those things online where I'm talking in, they're not ready to make the changes. They're still comfortable. The pain is not that big. They don't want to make the changes. So I want to talk with the 30% of the people, of the women, that they want to do the change, that they want to transform. And some of them, they don't even have the pain that bad, but they don't want to get into the big pain. Yeah. So they don't want to go so badly, because it's like prevention. Prevention is the best treatment if you know how to prevent things. Yeah. So not necessarily that you stay stuck, but you don't change anything. And if you don't change anything, from my experience also, like I've done it so many times, nothing changed. And I felt the same. I even thought even worse sometimes about myself. I, I wasn't really going into the short cutters. I've tried a couple of them when I was younger. Didn't work. I gave up. I realized, like, oh no, something was there. Like, my intuition was just like, no, no, no. And then I had no time to go into those. But then once I studied those things and I saw those things, it was like, oh my God. And another shortcut that I thought it's gonna work was that I have so much knowledge, so things can change easy for me. And it has to be much easier for me. And surprise, surprise, it's not working like that. I had to do the work. I had to do the work I told you, the work I'm gonna work with. If you join me, I had to do those work, and I still do this work, because once you go to a level, you want to go to the next level and the next level, and you want more for yourself. However, you could choose to start doing on your own also, and go to trial and errors, like I've done it many, many years, took many hours to study. If you have that time, that's fine. But no, if you don't have the time, and if you don't have the energy, and if you don't have the willingness to do all this work, then you could go to step easy and have me help you. Yeah. So along with me, you learn how to reset your metabolism naturally without extreme diets, feel calm, confident, and in control with your body, and have choices from your soul, from without feeling the frustration. And you also learn how to shift this energy, how to shift those emotions and make lasting health effortless. It's not about doing more, it's just about doing what actually works for our midlife metabolism, hormones, emotions, the life we live now. How can I support? Um, like I said, I'm just going to go straight forward. I'm going to talk about this. Um, it's a new program. It's the 30-day program. The 30-day power reset, it's called. Literally, it's 30 days with me. You have me in your pocket for 30 days. And it's like a good reset. First step to get a stronger, lighter, more energized you. What we do here is like we have you transform with my help. It's going to be a group. We're going to have 2 sessions every week. The coaching. Every day I'm going to be and answer all your questions. We're going to tweak everything. I'm going to give you recipes and meals plan. You could mix and match all those things. You're going to learn the more release stress techniques for the anxiety, for the emotional, for the resistance to change, even because we resist to change. We say, yes, we do it for a while, and then we give up. And I say 30 days also because study shows that majority of people that start anything, whatever might be there, anything, give ups on the 19 days. So the 19 days, if you start on the 29th or on the 20th, the next month on the 9th, if the month is on the 30 days, we give up. So having someone that won't let you to give up and push you gently with love, kicking you butt with all the love to move forward, that is the most important thing. Having the accountability support, the simple sustainable habits that you change in every day. Yeah. So I'm going to pop the link for this program. If you want to join me, you're more than welcome. That's me. Let me find the link, and I also want to give you the link for into the chat for what is my link? I lost my link. Let me find my link. Oh gosh. No. I'll find it in a minute. Give me 1 second, ladies. I found the link. I'm gonna pop them in the chat. Yeah, for the checklist I promised to you. Please click on and download. If you couldn't do it, DM me or send me a message, an email if you cannot make it, because I promise this to all that are here into the Zoom with me. Okay, that's okay. That's one of the links. And then the second link is the 30 days. But again, I lost it. Oh gosh. Oh, I have it here. It's for the program for the 30 days. It's a special price now. It's like the early bird. The early bird for this, it's 222 euros. It's going to go to 332 euros very shortly after that. It's just a couple of days on this. I found the link. also. I'm just going to pop them in the chat here. If you have any questions about this, please come email, message me. What you get into this program, it's literally help you to move to the right direction, getting into the movement, get the momentum. You get clarity and direction, you get guidance from me and coaching. We have EFT sessions, nutrition shifts. You need support on nutrients, you could talk about it. Literally, it's no more guesswork. It's very easy to have all this with me in a month. You could lose weight for sure. We're going to have a workshop, a special workshop that literally we do the personal vision and action plan workshop. We do it together. It's like the vision board, but it's the plan that I'm going to guide you, and you choose every step. And every step, you're going to have more steps so that you break down everything and makes it very simple and very doable for you. Because I don't want something that is not doable. I want you to, after the 30 days, to really feel like you can do it longer, even if I'm not there. And that happens because I work a lot with the people, a lot with so many, and I know the changes are happening. I know that changes are there, and I know how can I do it. So you have all those things. You have the choices. I think I had a few slides on, yeah, those are my clients here. Some of them wasn't doing all these changes in 30 days. They worked longer, but they started, and I could tell you, like, in about 3-4 weeks, you're already losing around 3-4 kilos. You're already having more energy. You could see the skin changes. You could see yourself differently, more empowered, more confident, more energetic, so that it's lasting effort. You see yourself into this. And that's the most important thing, to see the transformations, because from this transformation, you feed your energy, you feed your motivation, you feed your willpower. Yeah. So you're not relying on this, that it's coming from from elsewhere. It's literally you create this. So when you create this for you, you know what is there. You know the power of being you. If you have any questions, I think you're busy now with doing this. This is Ioana. That was a long run, but yes, she lost 13 kilos in 3 months, and then the next 5 months she lost 19 kilos, and it was about 70 pounds in total. It was a lot, but it was work. Was it worth it? Yes, it did. I put this gift here. I remember about the link. I did. The link is there. And I want to thank you so much for being here. Yet again, if you have questions, email me, but stop struggling. Try to make it easy. Try to make it simple for yourself. Do it for you with love, with compassion, and the same you will do for your child, for your best friend, for the love of your life. Put the same love and compassion for yourself. And when you do this, when you choose yourself, you will see that things are even easier. Things are different. Things are running well for you. Opportunities are opening up because you're more calm, you're more open. People are more open for you. They just jump to help you, literally, giving you something. And things are so much relaxed. Relationships are greater. You're not stressed longer. I just finished a program in Romanian language for 8 weeks. That was not about nutrition. That was only about how to feel in harmony with us, how to feel, how to be in harmony with yourself. 8 weeks was just tapping, coaching, working on resistance to change, or on anxiety, on stress, on so many things that they needed. And one of the ladies lost 5 kilos in 7 weeks without even thinking about it. But just because she was more present, she was more tuned with herself, she started listening to herself, being in more harmony with herself, she stopped eating from emotions. She stopped picking things, not having these emotional cravings, and so on. So that's the change, the transformations when you work with your emotions alongside your physical alignment. Let's put it this way. So you align physically and emotionally. When you do this, you see it, and it's a long transformation. If you only go on foods, foods can help you just like that. But you have to work holistically. You have to incorporate. You have to align yourself, readjust yourself. Give the time and space for the body to heal. And the emotional one, it's a big thing. Studies shows that high cortisol level, high pressure of the society, of the family, of everything, it's in time puts more illness, especially when women's, when we talk about autoimmune diseases and pains nobody can have an answer for. There's a lot of trauma. And when you work in releasing those emotions from the body, you really change everything around. I feel I need to start with the program that does not even talk about food, just to work on mindset, self-sabotage, and self-love. Yes. And this is the program. Like, I give the recipe if someone wants to talk about, if they want to have something that they don't want to need, they don't want to talk. But the most into this, it's help you to go into the momentum, to work with your emotions. Is the coaching behind to help you deal every day, make it easier and easier and easier. Get the calm in the middle of the storm. How you stop reacting and start responding to. Because when we are in the reaction, we just do things on autopilot. And then sometimes, many times, we feel sorry that we responded this, that we said the things, we've done the things, because we just react. It's just like, sometimes we talk before thinking, or we've done things before thinking. Because the body, it's used to do this and is doing on autopilot without even thinking. It's like brushing the teeth, brushing your hair, washing your body. You don't think, oh, I need to brush this, my hair, I need to water. You just do it without even thinking. And when you are more present and when you work with yourself and release those emotions and prioritize things in life, everything gets just unfolding and it's becoming more in light and more light with yourself. And I think also, like, with all the clients I work, so I work with kids, I work with their moms, I work with lots of women, I work with some men in my clinical one-to-one in town too, but they were probably 70% of my clients, total clients. I've learned from them also the way they perceive the women, their partners, their moms, their sisters. And I'm trying to change perspective in some men because there is not the way they see it. Maybe it's another way they could see it. I don't know if I'm wrong or right, but I just give them a different perspective so they could see they could see their women's in their lives from different lenses. Put it this way, it's their choice the way they do it. But I'm just trying to make a little bit of education about what us women do here and how we feel when we go into this process of perimenopause, hormonal change, even if you're not perimenopausal, but the PMS, the premenstrual syndrome, we all had it probably that week, and some women have it even longer. So when we in tune and align, even the pains are less, because the stress, it keeps the pains higher. When the stress is not there, the pain is less. And then you choose to work differently. You have different options. You know how to do it. And yes, you not longer sabotage yourself. You no longer say yes to everybody and no to yourself. Yeah. Self-care is not being selfish. I've been told many times, oh, you're quite selfish. But I'm not selfish. I lived many, many years in giving, 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 giving. But then I lost myself on a way. And I think this transition of hormones and everything, and especially my PTSD, was the one of the hardest lessons in my life, besides losing my parents when I was very young. But it's just like coming and brought everything, all the pains from my childhood was brought up with that PTSD. And I learned that if I don't take care of myself, I can't give more to my kids, to my husband, to my life. Because I've learned something coming to Ireland: you can't give from an empty cup. And it's so true. And probably it's on every English speaking language and in every other language, translated in a way or another. But it's true. So without self-love, without compassion, without healing our emotions, we all have a different trauma, different things. We went through so many in life that we thought we passed, and then it's still there something. And when you release this, so much good it's happening to us. And I want you to feel those, because I know how it is. I've been there. And I know how much it means to me and to so many women I work. And I want, if you could take something from today and do it every single day until it's becoming a habit, and that one will change another one and makes you feel good, that's amazing, because you're going to impact the people around you also. As women, I see ourselves like the heart of the house. It's like the kitchen in the house. It's the heart of the house. As women, we just that heart into the families. We could keep everything together, but we could push everything away in minutes or even less. So without keeping you longer, I want you to thank you again for being here today, and not for me, but for yourself. And if you listen to this on a replay or the link on YouTube or something, just thank yourself for the time you gave to yourself. Because this is the most important thing. Giving, and take the time for yourself first. Put yourself first and everything. Sometimes people could see it a little bit like, oh, you changed, Yes, I changed, but it's for the better for everyone. Yeah? Thank you so much. Give yourself a hug. 12 hugs a day. You could give yourself 12 hugs a day will increase your immune system. So that will help you a lot. Thank you for being here. And about the EFT session, I won't keep you longer, but probably I'll do in a couple of days, maybe over the weekend. I'm going live on Facebook. I'm going to send an email also for those that wants to come private and have a chat private. That will be not soon, probably will be a meeting. And we're going to do a full session, actually, a 40 minutes emotional freedom technique, just for releasing stress or having less cravings, whatever you might choose. So I'm going to put a poll into the Facebook group, and whatever the votes get the most, we do. We might try something else. Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a good evening or the rest of the day, wherever you are in the world. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Bye for now. Yeah, the Facebook. Bye 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 everyone. We're gonna pause. No, we're gonna stop recording here.